Hello my boys, good morning. I just make my coffee here and I arrived from the kitchen because today we're gonna talk about my league starter. So I got a lot of questions regarding my league starter for patch 3.26 Secrets of the Atlas, and for those new to the channel know that I've been league starting with the same build for more than 10 leagues in a row. Which is important. So I always league start with Siege Ballista, which is my only league starter in Path of Exile 1. This build was also adapted for casual players and new Path of Exile players. So this was the ultimate goal for me, to make a build that easy to follow for new Path of Exile players and casual players. As a matter of fact, in case you don't know me, you can go on my channel and you have here some playlists, and you'll see from the past how this build performs on league start scenario for Setters of Kalgur, for Affliction League, for Trials of the Ancestors, Necropolis. It's best to see it with your own eyes. I do my best to keep it up to date and alive. Here is the latest guide that I did in Setters of Kalgur. I fixed all the patch notes problem. Speaking of the patch notes, we need to see them because things can happen. This is true for all the builds out there, but I need to stress that I always play the same build, and in this beautiful video I will do some gameplay showcase. So here even you have gameplay showcase recently done. I only like to do a better trading filter for all the items, so it's easy to do the build without any stress. And here is the league start guide that you can follow. Not only that, in 2 days we will be up the written guide for this build in depth also. And you need to understand that on the Guild Discord server I always like to do this thing. So on League Start scenario I'll put a special channel dedicated with Siege Ballista, League Starting, and also Atlas Progression on League Start. You might want to check this bad boy up in order to make a lot of currency early on. Okay my boys, also a dedicated chat channel, so if you have questions, problems and you want to know more, you just write here. So there are a lot of things that I'm supporting people with this build, not only that I'm keeping it updated and alive. Now, in order to understand how busted this build is, I will do 2 things. First, I will showcase the build on poop items, league start items, 5 link, low skill gems, low level skill gems, cheap. Everything that you'll have here, it's around 1 divine orb, which is very cheap, and I will do red maps. Tier 14, 15, 16 with this build here, and here it's to get an idea how powerful this build is. I will log in now and talk a little about the build, so to set some expectation for the end game, because in the end game you'll stay the majority of the time. What I need to stress here, that this is not your typical Siege Ballista build. So in Path of Exile I like to do things my own way. I've been playing Siege Ballista for more than 5 years now, so of course I did all the possible variations out there. You need to understand that this build was adapted for casual and new Path of Exile 1 players. The typical Siege Ballista is usually very expensive and it's made out of paper, has little to no defenses, but not this build here. So what to expect for this build, I will do a map showcase so you can see the damage and the clear, but let's see what we have here. Spell suppression, as you know, this is normal for this build. It's very easy to cap spell suppression with one skill node, but you need to understand how spell suppression works in case you're new to the game, because it's big. It's one of the biggest defensive layers against spells. So let's say you get hit with a spell that does 1000 damage. This will mitigate half. So instead of 1000 damage, you just take 500, which is big defensive part. Now let's talk about the others here. Let's press the flask. More than 80% chance to evade attacks, physical damage reduction above 70%, plus the Pantheon. So when you're nearby enemies, you will get 8 more. So good physical damage reduction, a lot of chance to evade attacks, so you'll barely get hit. But not only that, if you do happen to get hit from time to time, you have a lot of life regeneration, more than 1000. More than 1000 life regeneration. Most of the times you don't even need to place your flask because of this, which is so sexy, so good. So enough talking my boys, let's open a map. As a matter of fact, I already have some maps here. City Square, Crystal Ore. Let's do both of them. I like to juice them like this. I will do like this, no problem. Desecrated ground. This build can do all the modifiers, by the way, even no regen, when it's fully done, I'm talking about. For Elemental Reflect, you can put awakened damage to attacks, or if it's League Start, you just resummon the totems, because we resummon them very fast. I will make more videos regarding this starter, but until then let's open a map and see what's all about. This is a 1-button build, in case you don't know. Everything that you need to do, you just move, place your totems. They will target and kill enemies for you. Also Siege Ballista attacks very fast, instantly almost. This is the reason I always League Start with this bad boy, because it helps me to unlock my Atlas fully on League Start. So for those who don't know, in those 0 to Hero playlist on League Start scenario, I always fully unlock my Atlas by day 3, which is incredible. This build is very strong. helps me get my first currency and also unlock my Atlas fast. This is the purpose of a good league starter. And also works on really low budgets, which is incredible. Yeah, so you don't need a lot of map awareness, which usually new Path of Exile players don't have. You just put the totems and everything will die. Yeah. What's beautiful about this build, but later if you want to do the hardest content possible in this game, like Simulacrum, Sanctums, Uber mode Pinnacle bosses and tier 70 maps, you can transition to my other build, which is my main build in Path of Exile, Shrapnel Ballista. That build, it's extremely tanky the way I did it, and also can do all the content in this game. Again, Simulacrum, in case you don't know, few builds can farm them. It's a versatile build. You can see everything on the Guild Discord server and on my channel, in case you don't want to join that. But we usually help people, you know, we have a support channels and we help people. No. Great clear speed, good times. That's why I always league start with Siege Ballista. So all channel visitors that know me know that I don't play stress builds. I only play builds that I played for years and I know for sure that they work. Yeah, I don't do experimental trash, I don't do anything like that. I only play things that I know for sure that they work. Now let's go to the map boss. By the way, I will start Twitching for the first time on Twitch. So in patch 326 I will start Twitch streaming, so you can see how I'm doing with this build live. And we have a good time together. Yeah, here this boss will explode, so that's why we need to stay back. And that's it, this was the map. Now, my boys, this is very powerful once you do it fully. This is the build fully done. But now let's return to the character selection and see how this build performs on League Star scenario, because it's more down to earth, because we have a lot of new Path of Exile 1 players and they will be poor. Yeah. So here I will relook on this bit boy. Here I just transitioned from Explosive Arrow Ballista phase. You know, you have how to League Star with Siege Ballista. I explain. Until we transition to Siege Ballista, we remain in Explosive Arrow Ballista, which, by the way, it's a joke of a build, because you just invest around 10 Chaos Orb, which is crazy cheap, and you can do without any problems white maps, yellow maps, even early red maps. Yeah, on a 4-link, which is important. 4-link, not even a 5-link. It's busted. But here I transition to Siege Ballista. I need to show you the items. You need to understand that these are very common items and very cheap, even on League Star. Also has a lot of uniques, which is very easy to set up. Yeah, because you don't need to calibrate all those rares. So this is 1 Chaos on League Star, this is 1 Chaos on League Star, this is 1 Chaos on League Star, this is free 5 Chaos on League Star, this is free 10 Chaos on League Star. This one also it's cheap on League Star, 1-5 Chaos. But remember, you will transition to Siege Ballista once you reach red map territory. So by now you will have 10 Chaos or 20 Chaos, especially since in Path of Exile 1 it's raining with Chaos, you know. It's raining men in that song, here it's raining with Chaos. Yeah, good. And these are cheap rares, you know. Here we have a simple ring with dexterity, boots with dexterity, movement speed. These are for League Start, it's very easy to get. Here is Stygian Vice. You also have a crafting guide in order not to overpay, so you can craft a belt like this for cheap. You don't need to overpay, you craft it yourself. Yeah, good. And also the skill tree, so you need to see what I have here. This is cheap. This is fluid motion that will transform strength in radius in dexterity. It's a cheap jewel. And for the others on League Start, you'll just use rare ones that have some dexterity and maximum life. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And here I have a Slipper Sentries cluster jewel, just with this one, Slipper Sentry. I didn't went for 2 nodes, just Slipper Sentries. Good. Now let's see this in action. So I will open a map. So here, yeah, so for this, usually you do early maps, red maps like this, but I will push my luck. Let's go tier 14 for this. Coves Beach, Foundry. Looking for something with Strand is great. Something longer for the showcase. Let's use it. I like to use them in my inventory. No regen. By the way, we can do no regen. If we swap here, you'll have in the Discord server. So I explained this build can do all the modifiers, even on League Start. I will roll it actually, because let's do this thing. So this is the 1 button build, everything is automated. Why I think I have it 2 times. No, we don't need this. Okay, let's open it. So here I went 1-2 tiers higher, because I want to showcase the power of this build. So I'm not doing this in white map, yellow map. This is the idea. The higher the tier the map has, the more monsters do more damage and the more life they have. Yeah. So with this beautiful build, I helps me unlock my Atlas very fast, man. Very fast on League. Okay, so these are cheap items. What I usually suggest for players, doesn't matter the build you're playing, but on League Start, you should move. Yeah, until you get your upgrades, character level, you should move. Moving around, it's a natural defense in Path of Exile. This is what you need to understand. Especially when you take Eater of Old Altars, like I took here, you will get some bad modifiers that empower the monsters, and this can suck. Good. Let's do this, why not? And I need to... So again, my gems... Oh, I need to showcase my gems. So my gems are low level. Look, low level gems. I didn't use anything fancy. Also on a 5-link setup. Getting a 5-link setup in red maps, it's very easy and cheap. Nothing special. Once you get a 6-link, once you get level 21 gems, this build becomes a joke. But even now I'm clearing maps without any problems. And by the way, this is a one-button build even on League Star scenario. Look, so my hand is not touching the keyboard, I'm just using the mouse. Now I want to put like this. Hey. The reason I'm not clicking on this because it will give me some powerful buffs and I don't want to take it. Bam! Beautiful build, and it has been tested. Imagine if I'm playing this for so long, of course it's good. And I'm keeping it alive and it's my personal League Starter and I don't play trash builds. So if you want to believe PoE guy, go ahead. You have those playlists on my channel and you can see in detail a summary for each day. So I show my items. I show common mistakes that some of the fresh Path of Exile 1 players can do. I show everything, you know, in order to have a good time. And towards the end, for that day, I do gameplay footage with this build. Yeah, beautiful build. Bam! Yeah, let's go to the boss. Keep in mind the area level, so new Path of Exile players don't understand the importance of area level. So sure, I have basic items here under 1 divines. What you see here, it costs under 1 divine. But you need to understand the area level, it's important, yeah? Because if I am to open now a white map or a yellow map, this build will one-shot everything. Yeah, even the map boss will die in under 1 second. But this is area level 81, which is important to take into consideration. Yeah, new players don't pay attention to these details, which are very important. So on League Start, when you open the global channels, one of the problem is when you read the new players, they get stuck in yellow maps. Most likely they need to reroll into another build because they get baited with builds. But PoE guy doesn't bait people. Man, I screamed like a maniac. It's because I'm a little, you know, I'm not feeling too good. I have a pneumonia beginning. Let's put it like this. You know, you can make a friendship beginning. I made a pneumonia beginning. Good. So let's go here on the Guild Disco 7 and remember you have the build guide here, up to date, the latest version. You have gameplay showcase for Siege Ballista on poo-poo budget, normal budget and cheap budget. Yeah, so you see some expectation, you have better trading, you have how to League Start guide and the written guide will be up in 2 days. Yeah. Have questions, you can come here and you can insult me as much as you want. Good. In the upcoming days I will keep doing videos related to Siege Ballista and we will have a good time together. Enjoy the rest of the day and good luck.